Sezno. Professor Sezno in the building. Fuck you talking about? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, friends, Romans, countrymen. Here at the Sezno Institute for Preventable Illnesses, we have long been tackling an issue that plagues the general public today, which is, simply put, the internet haters. Our industrious crew here at the Institute have spent many a long hour deep into the night in an attempt to understand the psychology of an internet hater. We have long maintained that this disease is treatable and preventable, and that a cure makes one even healthier than they were before. We have taken it upon ourselves to study this problem minutely, seeking to understand the causes and the effects, both in the short and long term. Wherefore does someone deliberately humiliate themselves on the internet for no reason at all? And today we are exceedingly pleased to share some of our findings with you, dear viewer, for the benefit of the uninitiated. Some of the symptoms of this rampant disease include incoherence, lack of depth, avoidance of critical engagement, jumping to conclusions, ad hominem arguments, and then some. What a hater often does not realize is that their doctored impunity derived from an anonymous account is merely a facade. We, as the creators of the world, will never know who you are, but that doesn't really matter. Ultimately, the war that an internet hater chooses to wage is not with whom they are criticizing. It is, in fact, a war within themselves. This war begins as an internal struggle. A person is unhappy with their circumstances, their own inability to treat their pipe dreams with obligation and urgency and spiritual truth. We all have such battles, such wars within us. This is what spurs human beings on to achievement and transcendence of their ill fortunes. It is a necessary part of the human condition that no one can or should escape. The difference with a hater, however, is that this initially internal battle manifests outwardly as well. The anger has to come out somehow, but it is not sent in a healthy or a righteous direction. Remember, kids, every accusation is a confession, and haters are intimidated by those who fearlessly set out to achieve what they have not begun to. This is precisely why, and this is the recommendation of the Institute, you understand? A hater should be left alone. By commenting, a hater reveals, perhaps inadvertently, that they don't do anything cool. This is what makes this disease so tragic. Do I sometimes like to pin a hate comment that I find funny? Absolutely, dude. But really, I, and all the other creators that are out there, shouldn't even do that. A hater should be forced to stew in their own folly, unacknowledged, until, with any luck, they recognize that their action was a meaningless projection of jealousy. This is a treatable disease, bro. Many have been cured with great success. Others, however, are racked by this ailment and undergo a slow and painful death, immobilized forever in ague and fever, until inevitably they fall into their destiny as a person that nobody remembers doing anything of note. This disease is not something that can be treated with a pill. This is precisely what makes this phenomenon so fascinating. But we, at the Institute, have discovered the cure here. The easiest method is simply to begin doing cool shit yourself. Our studies have shown a correlation, which we've demonstrated on this chart right here. This axis being the amount of cool shit that one does. Stay with me here, ladies and gentlemen. And this axis being the propensity for writing internet hate comments. As you can see quite clearly for yourself, there is a negative correlation between these two variables. If you don't do cool shit, you're more likely to write hate comments, and if you do more cool shit, you're less likely to write hate comments. Except for this one outlier that we found. This person doesn't do much of anything, but they're perfectly zen. That's an option too, you know, if you don't do any cool shit. While it is not necessarily easy to do cool shit, especially towards the beginning, doing cool shit takes far more strength than anonymously writing hate. This is easily the most practical method that exists for achieving emotional empathy with other creatives, by beginning to understand what a creator goes through. Because if you're a hater, you're a creative, aren't you? I know you are. You've got shit you want to do. I'm right there with you, bro. I'm still there. I'm out here trying to tackle that problem. I put on a fucking suit for this. You understand? Somebody who writes hate comments very blatantly reveals, just by commenting at all, that they've never been on the other side of the coin. They've never put earnest thought and intention into their work and bravely put it out there. And most importantly, they've probably never received hate comments themselves on something they made that means something to them. Any creator is bound to get hate at some point or another. Statistically, this must be the case. If you knew what it feels like, you wouldn't do that. You simply wouldn't. Note that we at the Institute are empathizing with you here. We know you're not stupid. We know that you're probably a decent person in other avenues of your life. And assuming the goodness of your character is what leads us to say, if you knew what it felt like, you wouldn't leave tactless comments for no fucking reason. Instead, you would be puzzled as to how people could take you out of context, could make a meaningless observation, or can try to make you feel like shit for no reason at all. Don't contribute to a harmful culture that will bring harm to you when you're doing your cool shit. You will help yourself and everyone else in the long run. It's not the fault of other creatives if you don't do cool shit. It would be your fault. You'll notice that your actions actually benefit us. It benefits our engagement. It benefits our drive. Every ad of mine that you sit through, every view you give me, bro, it benefits me, dog. It gave me impetus to make this video, which, if you're seeing this, only benefits me, my brand, and the people who sincerely appreciate what I do. I need a lot of videos this year, you know, in my broader plan to do cool shit. It gives me something to talk about, and my supporters will love it. Nobody who believes in themselves will ever stop as a result of hate comments. Anyway, those are the findings of the Institute. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. EP February 11th. Follow the Sezno Institute on the gram and check out my merch store. You know, I could make Sezno Institute merch. I just fucking realized that. Peace be with you all. Goodbye.